neutron burglar alarm. WWDC with Howard Cosell in about 10 minutes or so with all the sports activity that you need to know. 8:15 o'clock. Fire in the morning there, Melissa Manchester. WWDC at 20 minutes after 8 o'clock. It's 8:20. And this Pat Riley with a wonderful, wonderful day in store for you. Sunny weather with the highs 70 to 74 and partly cloudy this evening and Friday with the highs tomorrow likewise about 65 to 69. Lows this evening 47 to 54. It's 58 degrees. Baton Rouge, Louisiana. A woman is no longer working as an operator for the phone company because she refused to place an overseas call for an Iranian. Teresa Dryrup is her name, and she'd already placed several overseas calls for this particular Iranian. And when he asked her to place another call to Iran for Monday night, Mrs. Dryrup decided that she'd had enough. And she says she thought of the 50 Americans who have been held hostage in the American embassy in Tehran since last November and refused to place the call for the Iranian. South Central Bell telephone company officials told her that she was violating regulations and she would have to be suspended for 3 days. Ms. Dryrup resigned, saying that, I guess I'm just too American.
And by the way, for the Iranian, if you may be listening, just send us your name and address, and we'll mail you the dime.
Koken?
We had some Navy fellas come in here and paint our control room studios at WWDC. That's a very unusual shade of gray they have on the walls here. That's very romantic. WWDC, 21 minutes after 8 o'clock. Good morning. WWDC, that's the Atlanta Rhythm section, and Spooky, this is the Pat Riley Show, and we'll be right back following Howard Cosell with a look at sports. It's 58 degrees in Washington, D.C. We anticipate sunshine all day long. WWDC, good morning. It's 27 and a half minutes before 9 o'clock and sunshine. That's what we have in abundance this morning. Mostly sunny with a high of 70 to 74 degrees. Maybe get a little bit of rain shower activity over the weekend. It's 58 degrees in D.C. WWDC, you are the sunshine of my life. It's 25 minutes before 9 o'clock, 8:35 and 58 degrees now in Washington, D.C. with a sunny day. And in just a couple of hours, John Anderson will be announcing that he is running for the presidency of the United States as an independent. He's leaving the Republican rat race and leaving it all to the movie star, Ronald Reagan. Who are you going to vote for this year? Do you have any idea? Have you made up your mind yet, Ron? Ron Lewis is in the studio. Pardon?
Are you running?
No, I'm not running this year. I talked to our program director about the possibility of my running for the presidency, but she just... I've never heard a nastier laugh in my entire life. Yeah. So I don't know. Have you made up your mind yet? I mean, you got a lot of really tremendous choices, right? Got Jimmy Carter and Ted Kennedy, if indeed he gets the nomination. Ronald Reagan and John Anderson. George Bush is still in the running.
How about the turkey on the front lawn?
The turkey on the front lawn. Is Spiro Agnew back? I don't know. I'm gonna vote for the best man. Well, I would, except I don't think he's running this year. WWDC is 23 minutes before 9 o'clock. This is exciting. Today's payday at WWDC. I don't have to get on my basketball uniform and bounce my check over to the bank.
Oh, yes. Well, I see by the memo on the old program director's bulletin board, it's time to wrap up another career.
Here with Pat Riley at 20 minutes before 9 o'clock. This is it. Yeah, sometimes reality just comes along and splashes your cold water right smack in the middle of the face here. Kenny Loggins on WWDC, where we got 16 minutes before 9 o'clock, 8:44, and 58 degrees currently in Washington, D.C.
I know what you talk about the reality sometimes, you know. You say yesterday that Charlie McCarthy and Mortimer Snerd is now in the, what do you call it, Smithsonian Institute.
Yeah, they were some of my favorites, man. I used to grow up listening to records by Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy, and they were on TV for a while, too.
Yes, I remember that. That was way back in the 50s. That was he was a really funny guy, you know. That was with the little ventriculist like that. That was the talker without to make his lips move and everything like that.
Yeah. Oh, I used to believe in puppets like that. You know, I used to believe that Charlie McCarthy was like a real person. And howdy doody.
What, you mean they're not?
Sorry to disillusion you.
No, I understand that. You know, something that really, I think, caused me, what do you call it, disillusion?
What's that?
I saw Edgar Bergen once live in concert in Chicago about 20 years ago, and I got a chance to go backstage.
Yeah.
And I saw Edgar Bergen unscrewing Charlie McCarthy's head. You know that?
WWDC, it's 14 minutes before 9 o'clock, 8:46 with Pat Reilly and 59 degrees in D.C. WWDC, Peaches and Hoib, and I pledge my love to you. It's 10 minutes before 9 o'clock, 8:50, and a wonderful day. Mostly sunny with a high 70 to 74, partly cloudy tonight and Friday with the lows 47 to 54. Highs Friday 65 to 69 with a chance of rain 0 today, 20% this evening, and a 10% chance for Friday, 58 degrees. That's our temperature now in Washington, D.C. And the D.C. Rape Crisis Center has a 24-hour telephone line open for confidential assistance. It's a major problem in every major city in the country. Call 333-7273, even in some of the smaller communities. The police department's doing the best they can with the rape situation. One of the things they're doing is that they're sending out decoy women. There's police officers, men dressed up as women, to walk in some of the nastier neighborhoods and areas where this sort of thing seems to be prominent. And
what they got? What they call decoy prostitutes?
That's one of the terms, because prostitutes are raped probably more frequently than most other women. But what are you smirking about?
I don't know. I hear the term decoy prostitute. All that comes to mind is little wooden duckies with short skirts and painted beaks. I don't know.
Well, never mind it. You need help from the Rape Crisis Center. The number is 333-7273. WWDC, Washington, it's 9 o'clock. Mostly sunny with the highs 70, 74 as Pat Riley's show, and cloudy this evening and Friday with the lows 47 to 54. It's 59 degrees in D.C. Summer's in the air. You can smell it. You can feel it. I'm just going to lay back in the arms of old Mother Nature and let her pour all of her wonderness upon me. And 3 minutes after 9 o'clock, it's 9:03 now, WWDC, and I love summertime. I love summertime any place, but especially in Washington, D.C., and there's so many things to do. Man, people are going to be going out doing some cookouts and barbecues and summertime parties and going for cool moonlight drives around the Potomac and just all kinds of wonderful things, enjoying the scenery and the fragrance of the ambiance around D.C. and Maryland and Virginia. And one thing that always seems to bring on summertime is when the circus comes to town. The circus has already come to town, and I missed it this year. It's the first time in a long time I've missed this circus, and I really felt bad about it because at some of the other radio stations I worked at, we always ushered in summertime or springtime by riding an elephant into the city. And I understand that some people did it this year, but I didn't get a chance to do it. I've done it several times now, 4 or 5 times. And I just like to ride elephants. Not that they're really all that comfortable, and they really are smelly little critters, too. As a matter of fact, it was a real downer to ride an elephant. I don't even know why I'm thinking about that. But I've ridden elephants lots of times. I remember one morning, I was there in the shower before going out to go down to the train station and ride the elephant. And I was in there thinking to myself, why am I taking a shower when I'm going out to ride an elephant? WWDC, and guess what we've got going? Yes, indeed, folks, some more free stuff to be given away here at WWDC. Not today, but tomorrow, because today is Thursday and tomorrow is Friday. And every Friday, of course, we have Flowers for Friday. Now, how do you get some of these flowers? Do you have to be a female-type person, lady? No, not necessarily. You can be a guy if you like flowers. Or maybe you're a guy who would like to present some flowers to a lady. Or maybe you're a lady who would like to give some flowers to a gentleman. It works any way that you happen to make it work, you see. You could put it together, take it apart, kind of like a gigantic kaleidoscopic promotion. And all you have to do to be eligible, see, we don't even give you brain fever. All you have to do is send in your name and your address and your telephone number, and that shouldn't be all that difficult for probably most of you. Just put it down there in a postcard, and you send it in to WWDC Radio, 1150 Connecticut Avenue Northwest here in Washington, D.C., and every Friday we have a special drawing, and we might be drawing your name out of our little paper hat. And when we do, of course, we send some little flowers for Friday right over to your place, and you can enjoy them, can't you, boys and girls? Sure you can. Get your cards in the mail, won't you? Okay. Thank you. WWDC at 13 and a half minutes after 9 o'clock. The high today will be near 74 degrees at 63 now in Washington. WWDC is Pat Reilly at 16 minutes after 9 o'clock. It's 9:16. And mostly sunny with a high of 70 to 74 degrees. Lovely weather for doing some sunbathing today. Our temperature is at 63 degrees. I don't know if most of the pools are open around Washington, D.C. Probably not most of them, not yet, not for another month or so. But we did have a lady call us in a few minutes ago, said that she's been doing some sunbathing now for the past couple of weeks. And it ain't no sin for to take off your skin and dance around in your bones, because I'll tell you, when you're blonde, you tend to tan awfully rapidly. And she says she's a blonde-haired lady. You got to be kind of careful when you're out sunbathing, especially in mixed company. Because every once in a while you get yourself a frisky young dude around who likes to play nasty little tricks on you. Like I had a friend who used to go to the beach, and he'd find some lady who was lying on her stomach with a bikini. You know how sometimes you undo the back of the top, so you get a good overall tan. He used to come over and drop a little ice cream cone on the girl's backs. He was a nasty guy, but a happy guy. I'll tell you that. Is it true that closet polygamists have no room in their closets? WWDC with the Pat Reilly family. Sunny with a high 70, 74 degrees, 63 degrees now in Washington, D.C. with a look at some Washington area headlines coming up at the Frankie Valley in Greece. Whoa. WWDC, Frankie Valley in Greece. At 9:25, 25 minutes after 9 o'clock, and the Fairfax County School Superintendent says that 8 schools should be closed for economic reasons. A citizens committee had recommended closing only 3 schools. District officials broke ground yesterday for the city's new convention center. A district man has been sentenced to 10 to 45 years in prison for running over and killing an elderly housekeeper during an escape from a bank robbery. And a federal judge says former Maryland Governor Marvin Mandel should serve his 4-year prison term in the Florida prison that once housed Watergate figures E. Howard Hunt and Bernard Barker. Mostly sunny with a high 70 to 74, partly cloudy this evening and Friday with the lows 47 to 54. Highs Friday 65 to 69 degrees. Chance of rain near 0 today, 20% this evening and 10% for Friday. Winds variable 10 miles per hour or less today and this evening. It's 63 degrees at WWDC. WWDC and the Pat Reilly Show. And we have 27 minutes after 9 o'clock. It's 9:27 now with the Pat Reilly family. I don't believe that guy on the phone.
That's right. He says the big difference between his girlfriend and garbage. Did you hear that?
That wasn't a very nice thing to say.
Not very nice at all. No, he says the big difference between the two is that his garbage gets picked up twice a week.
Yeah, nice stuff. Sunny, he told me some other stuff that we don't dare talk about on the radio. Sunny today with a high 70 to 74.
That's the guy's obviously a male chauvinist, the pig.
He's in the garbage, yeah. Friday, we'll have a low about 47 to 54 degrees. The highs tomorrow, 65 to 69. And chance of rain near 0 today, 20% chance tonight, and a 10% chance on Friday. Yeah, it's 63 degrees now in Washington, D.C. Ron Lewis out there in the disc jockey's lounge doing some push-ups with his tongue, prepared to do his thing for 5 hours. Starting at 10 this morning on WWDC. WWDC, there's a breakdown dead ahead. There's a little tune there for all the soap opera freaks out there in Radio Land. Yes, let me help you search for tomorrow. My guiding light. Right here at General Hospital. You ever notice after you watch a soap opera, you got a little ring around your set? That ever happened to you? WWDC, and that's Chicago, and then we're wishing you were here. It's 23 minutes before 10 o'clock. Actually, when you're a mother, you don't have all that much chance to watch soap operas. That certainly is the case with my wife, anyway. We became parents 3 years ago. Now we got another one on the way. And it's about all the time. The only thing you have time for is reading these books. We got all these little manuals around the house. How to raise children, the psychology of child raising, parent, guardian, and children, breastfeeding. We've looked into all the measures, the Moz methods, and we've dealt with a number of child psychologists and medical people, and we've come to the conclusion that we're going to breastfeed again this time. Did last time, and it seemed to work out pretty well.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good recommendations for breastfeeding. It's healthier, it's non-breakable, and they come in such cute little containers.
and they'll be kicking all season long as WWDC 1260 broadcasts all the Diplomat games, home and away. Join us Sunday, April 27th at 2:30 when the Diplomats take on the Toronto Blizzard live on 1260.
Could you ask for anything better? What a lovely day. Mostly sunny with a high 70 to 74. Partly cloudy this evening and Friday with the lows 47 to 54. And 63 degrees in Washington, D.C. WWDC with the Pat Reilly family at 13 minutes before 10 o'clock. And the Drama Department of Langley High School is presenting Guys and Dolls on the 8th of May, 9th and the 10th in the school auditorium. Call 356-1960 if you'd like more information.
Hey, Beverly Fox, you know the new lady who's on in the afternoon?
Yes, I do know her. She's also our program director. She wanted me to point out whenever I mention program director to mention her name, Beverly Fox.
That's right. Yes, sure. She's new in town like you, but her furniture just arrived yesterday. She's supposed to have a really nice place. She's telling me all about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's got a waterbed and everything, but I'm going to tell you, I think she must have set it up wrong.
What do you mean, her waterbed?
Yeah, it must have sprung a leak or something. You see her when she came in this morning?
Yeah, she looked like a 5'2" prune.
This week.
Oh, yes, thank you. A marvelous voice that lady has.
That voice doesn't turn you on. Your switch has to be broken.
WWDC, good morning.
WWDC, good morning, peace and love. Ron Lewis is next on many of the same station. Please stand by. Good morning, Ron.
Good morning, good morning. It's windy. Yes, sir. Hey there, big fella, where do you want the shot?
Oh, any place but the tattoo on my mom. Please, don't move it with her. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. Doesn't surprise me one bit the Australians are boycotting the Olympics. They remember Skylab too, don't they? WWDC Washington is 9 o'clock, and we have sunny and lovely weather all weekend long with the highs in the low 70s. And the lows this evening only in the mid-40s. It's 53 degrees in Washington. Oh, the temperature be rising fast. It's up to 61 degrees now in Washington, D.C. And you couldn't ask for a better weekend with sunny and pleasant weather all day long today and again tomorrow with the highs in the low 70s. And once again, it is up to 61 degrees in Washington, D.C. WWDC, and there will be an auction for the Montgomery County Society for Crippled Children and Adults today from 10 o'clock in the morning until 4 p.m. at the Charles Woodward High School gym at Old Georgetown Road in Rockville. And I'll be out there at 2 o'clock with some of the members of the Dips. Hope to see you there. WWDC and Desire, that's Andy Gibb. And 11 minutes after 9 o'clock, it's 9:11. What's another really cheap thing to do this weekend?
Well, you could just hang around at home and you could take off all your clothes and figure out new ways to dial the telephone.
Sure, that would be one thing to do. There's also a trolley car spectacular tomorrow from 1:30 until 3:30 at the National Capital Trolley Museum.
Oh, well, I think you're off yours.
Could be. That's at Bonifant Road between Layetteville Road and...
No, it's Layhill.
Layhill Road and New Hampshire Avenue. The event will feature all the operating cars in action, and the admission is free.
I don't like trolley cars. I got a bad accident with a trolley car out in San Francisco.
You did. Well, it's probably your fault.
No, the sucker was in the wrong lane.
WWDC keeping the fire burning for crying out loud. The saddest words of Mike or Penn. What might have been, what might have been. Melissa Manchester at WWDC, Pat Reilly Show, 20 minutes after 9 o'clock. Good morning, Washington, D.C. Let's ride. WWDC and Riding Like to Win there, and Christopher Cross on the Pat Reilly Show, where we have 24 minutes after 9 o'clock. This is the Reilly family, and we have a sunny and pleasant day all weekend long. In fact, we got wonderful weather with the highs in the low 70s, and today in the mid-70s again tomorrow. Fair weather this evening, lows 40 degrees and in the low 50s. Winds variable, mainly westerly at 10 miles per hour, maybe less, becoming southerly late in the day. And in this evening, it's 61 degrees now in Washington, D.C. Goodbye, Menachem Begin. Menachem Begin left this country, went back to Israel. And we had him on the show a couple of times, of course, and we didn't get a chance to ask him all the questions that I really wanted to ask him about. We asked him about Palestinian autonomy, and we asked him how the peace talks were going. But one thing I wanted to know that I didn't get a chance to ask him is about organized crime in Israel. We understand that there's a big crime problem because inflation in Israel is even worse than it is in the United States, if you can imagine that. And what if they do have, like, organized crime in Israel?
Of course they do. Have you ever heard of the Kosher Nostra?
No, wait.
More traumas and medical difficulties. She loves you, yeah, but don't fall in love with a dreamer.
WWDC, and for those of you doing some domestic work around the home today, here's a tip on how to dry a compact car. After the car wash, simply pick the automobile up by its windshield wiper, and it will shake itself dry. Thank you.
Oh, this poor Barbara Streisand there at Donna Summer at WWDC. I feel sorry for Barbara Streisand, man.
Ever since she broke up with Elliot Gould, the only guy she can get a date with are either married or hairdressers. It's 26 minutes before 10 o'clock now with the Pat Reilly broadcast and 61 degrees at WWDC. We've been living right, folks. Wonderful, wonderful weather. WWDC sunny and mild today and tomorrow with the highs in the low 70s today and in the mid-70s for Sunday. Fair again this evening, lows in the mid-40s to low 50s. Winds variable and mainly westerly, about 10 miles per hour. Gentle. It's 63 degrees now in Washington. WWDC and the Pat Reilly family. Good morning. She's out of my life, and that's Michael Jackson. We have a wonderful day in store for us, sunny and pleasant for today and tomorrow with the highs in the low 70s today and the mid-70s for tomorrow. 63 degrees in Washington, D.C.
It's a nice day to go out and have a lot of fun. There's a lot of good stuff going on, like from Earth Day 80 goes on through Tuesday, and there's a lot of stuff there.
Right, there'll be about 30 activities going on around Washington. The energy game, that's a version of Monopoly, will be played daily on a gigantic 20-foot board on the mall from 10 o'clock till 6 today, and kite flying in the West Potomac Park on Sunday, 12 noon until 5 o'clock.
That's right. You want all the information. There's a telephone number that you call. And maybe you better give it because my pronunciation is not too good.
Okay, the number is 293-2550.
Okay, so 293-2550. Make sure that you go out today, you don't get mugged or anything.
Well, crime is not really all that bad around D.C., is it?
Maybe you don't live in my neighborhood. There's a big, over where I live, there's been a big rash of robberies, silver thefts, and all that stuff like that.
Oh, that's right, too. That was a couple of weeks ago. Is anybody stealing any money?
Oh, the other muggings are up, too, over in that neighborhood. It's, I don't know. It's maybe it's a little bit of good news, little bad news.
What's good about muggings?
Well, maybe it shows the increased confidence in the D.C. economy, you know?
Never thought of that. Thank heavens. That's all you need. Licks in the bread you got it made now in the social scene. Oh, that's too bad. Remember back in the old days, values used to be a little bit higher. Although money was still on some folks' minds. Trying to move out of the poor side of town. WWDC. Yeah, it used to be a fool and his money were soon parted. Now it happens to just about everybody. And in today's society with the economy the way it is, both sides of the track are wrong. It's the Pat Reilly Show at 11 and a half minutes before 10 o'clock. Ron Lewis will be here in just a few moments. And
yes, well, he certainly empathizes with poor people. I know that.
You do too, don't you? I mean, that's such a bad scene today with the economy in such lousy shape, and especially people in the lower income.
Yeah, well, I think I empathize with poor people to a great extent. For example, on hot, sweltery summer days, whenever I drive my car through the poor section of town, I always make certain, that I turn the air conditioner down just a little bit,
Wow. I'm sure they appreciate it.
Yes, they seem to.
WWDC, peace and love, people. Bye-bye. Ron Lewis next on many of the same station. This is the Pat Reilly broadcast. Be again with you again, so whenever we see you again, whatever.
I don't believe this. Do you?
WWDC at 13 minutes before 9 o'clock. You're still around, huh?
Yeah. What'd you do? What'd you take? Take a request?
Yeah, okay. What do you want to hear?
I like, would you play Hungarian Rhapsody by Goulash?
Goulash is a stew.
I don't care if he drinks, he still writes pretty music.
Right.
I'll see what I can do here.
Somebody call security, would you? WWDC, Pat Reilly broadcast. Christopher Cross riding like the winds. It's 9 minutes before 9 o'clock. All right, open your mouth and say. And here's the brand new one from Barbara Met. No, that's not right. WWDC, Washington, it's 9 o'clock. Give me the whip. WWDC, Pat Reilly Show, 3 minutes after 9 o'clock. Donna Summer, I Feel Love. I'll bet you do. I know what's happening there. Ever get the idea when Donna Summer